morning and welcome to Lincoln Ware Live. We're here every Sunday morning from 10 until 11. And as usual, we've got a great show lined up for you today. The first half of the show, we'll talk to Mario Roberts from PwC. We'll explain all that to you. Then the second half of the show, none other than County Commissioner David Pepper. We'll talk to him about the county budget that seems to be, oh boy, kind of tight these days. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the defeat of issue 27. And anything else you'd like to talk to the commissioner about coming up on the second half of the show. So you better stick around. You better call somebody and tell them to turn on It's 38. Now, in the studio with me, Mario Roberts. Mario, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now, PwC, what does it stand for?
People Working Cooperatively.
Now, it's, I guess, a nonprofit organization, and you help out the senior citizens, the elderly who own homes and who can't fix repairs. I mean,
yes.
I guess when you want a fixed income and you have some major repairs, you're stuck.
Yes, it is very difficult on the home nowadays. We service a broad area in Ohio, northern Kentucky. We are a nonprofit organization. We do major home repairs. As you have mentioned, we also have a weatherization service that we provide for homeowners and renters who are serviced by Duke. And we also do a volunteer service as well for the low income and the elderly.
And so you say you reach over into northern Kentucky also?
Yes,
okay,
we do.
So anybody who's serviced by Duke, pretty much you can help them out?
Yes, with weatherization we can help them out.
Now, speaking of weatherization, a lot of people have the old type windows and you can just stand by the window and feel a breeze coming in. That's not good.
No, it's not good at all.
Especially with the high cost of heating.
Yes.
What would you suggest to seniors who have these old type windows and they can actually feel a breeze coming through? What should they do?
For one thing, you want to make sure that the windows are closed and locked properly. You want to make sure that the top sash is up and the bottom sash is down, and make sure that's locking properly. Through our weatherization services, we do offer a window kit, which I have right here, which is this plastic that goes over the window.
Okay.
We have these different adhesive strips that go around the frame of the window itself. And we put the plastic in the middle, and then it goes together like a Ziploc bag, so it keeps that wind from coming in and out.
And that makes a difference. If you put plastic over the windows, the draft stops immediately.
Oh, yes.
Now, you'll go out and show, I mean, not too many seniors could probably put that together and fix it right. So you'll go out there and help them do it.
Yes, we actually go out there and do it ourselves.
Okay, all right.
If they qualify for our weatherization services.
Okay, now we talked about the windows. What if someone has a major failure with their furnace? You know, that's important. How can you help a senior out with that?
Through our services, we do major home repair, and we have emergency services as well. If your furnace do go out, we always like to encourage clients to give us a call and make sure it ain't something that we can't do for you. We do have certified service techs through weatherization and through heating and cooling that can come out and service the furnace itself. One of the most important things that you want to remember is to check the furnace filter on a monthly basis. Anytime that your Duke bill comes, that should be a constant reminder to go out and check the furnace filter. Furnace filter is normally located on the side of your furnace, and normally has arrows that show you which way the furnace filter should go in. You want to make sure you check it, make sure it's clean. The big thing is, because if it's getting clogged, it's like putting your hand over your mouth and trying to breathe. If you can't get that air coming in, it's not good. So you want to make sure that you keep your furnace filter nice and clean. And
a lot of seniors never even think about stuff like that. They never think about changing the filter on their furnace.
No, they do not.
They never think about it. Now, some of the other services you provide, how does a senior get in touch with you? Say, for instance, they've got some issues. I tell you what we'll do. We'll take a break first. Then we'll come back and tell people how they can get in touch with you and how long does the process take, who qualifies, and things like that. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come right back. Lincoln Ware Live. Don't forget, coming up on the second half of the show, Cincinnati County Commissioner David Pepper will be my guest. We'll talk about the county budget, among other things, with David Pepper coming up. Back in a moment. And we're back live. Lincoln Ware Live, of course, is the program, and we're here every Sunday morning from 10 until 11. My guest this morning, Mario Roberts from PWC. And Mario, we were before the break. And by the way, if you're a senior out there and you want more information, you want to give us a call, 513-381-3838. Now, we were talking about how do you qualify? Does any senior qualify? What's the criteria to get help from you?
Yeah, our criteria is it's income-based, like I said, it's for low income and for elderly. Just give us a call at PWC. You can do an application over the phone. The telephone number is area code 513-351-7921. Easy to remember is 351-7-PWC.
Now, you even have built ramps for people in wheelchairs who don't have access, easy access into their homes. You'll even come out and build a ramp for them.
Yes, we do have a modification for mobilities department that they do come out and do a aluminum ramp. We have built wood ramps now, but we're more focusing on the aluminum ramps because it's recyclable, so we can go from client to client. We do a number of different various things in the home. We work on plumbing, electrical, roofing, pretty much you name it. Not for the more of decorative things, but more for the emergencies to the home.
Now you've got some other items over here. What else do you have? What else did you bring with us?
I have some low energy saving light bulbs, which you can find at any local hardware store now. The ratings on these they're as bright as 100 watt, but they're only actually using 23 watts. Okay. So this is to help you save on your electric bill. I do have a weather strip that goes on the front and back doors. You can find these at any local hardware store. You want to make sure that the tube butts up against the door, and then it has little slots and holes that you can screw into and make sure you caulk the back as well as you're putting it on.
And you will provide all those services for seniors that if they don't know how to do it, they can't do it.
Yes.
You'll come out and help them out. Give that phone number once again.
Once again, it's area code 513-351-7921.
And you even go as far as plumbing problems. If they have plumbing problems, you can help them out with that also.
Yes, we have a number of certified journeymen, licensed plumbers that can come out, snake out the drains, change out faucets. We have volunteer services that we have. This year we have a major home repair day, which is like a repair fair, and then we have a prepare fair, which is like raking leaves and cleaning the gutters. Okay. So repair fair is like repairing the home from what the winter has done to it. Prepare fair is normally raking leaves and gutters, preparing the home for the winter.
Okay. All right. I tell you what, I'm sure you help. How many people do you help out on an annual basis?
On an annual basis, I would say anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000, including the different events that we host. And
do the people over in Northern Kentucky, do they call up just as much as people over here in Hamilton County?
Just as much. Area?
Yes. No kidding. Okay.
We go as far north as Middletown, Franklin, actually, and then as far south as Falmouth, Kentucky, Dry Ridge, Kentucky.
Okay. I tell you, that's now. Where do you get the people to do the repairs? I mean, these got to be guys that know what they're doing. Seem like they'd be out somewhere making a whole lot of money, working for them. How do you get these volunteers to help you out?
Well, the volunteers or any volunteers that want to volunteer to PWC, this last event that we just had, Prepare Fair, we had over 3,000 volunteers servicing over 1,000 clients. So, yeah, and then we have our own staff. There are journeymen, plumbers, licensed electricians, licensed journeymen, carpenters, you name it. We have the techs to do it.
All right, let's go to the telephones, 513-381-3838. That's the number if you've got questions. Let's go to Ace. Ace, how are you? Good. Can you hear?
You got a good show on there today, Lincoln.
Well, thank you, Ace.
But I have a question for you. Why don't you talk about some stuff like that Pool on their brochures talk about? Because I like to hear about some of that stuff that you talking about, you know what I mean? About space aliens and the gas prices and stuff like that.
Well, all right.
You have a good day,
we always talk about that, Ace. I mean, where have you been, Ace? Wake up and smell the coffee. Give me a break. G, how you doing? Where have you been, Ace? Wake up. G. Okay, who's screening these folks here? What's in the water this morning? Unbelievable. 513-381-3838. If you have a legitimate question to ask about how you can get help in repairing your home, getting it ready for the winter, like you said, what do you call it? The
prepare fair and repair fair.
And you actually come out and clean the gutters, get leaves out of the gutters and the whole bit?
Yeah, now this service is just for the elderly.
Okay.
Normally 60 and over, or if they have a handicap mobility issue,
okay,
we can do it in that area. Our repair services are for low income and elderly, but they have to be homeowners.
Okay.
For our weatherization services, they're just for low income. If you're serviced by Duke, so we can come out and weatherize your home.
Okay.
With the weather stripping, with the tank wraps, furnace filters, we do a clean and tune on the furnace as well, and just.
Now, what is that big piece you have over there? I know it may be hard for you to reach from here, but.
This is what we call a tank wrap. It's an insulation blanket that you can put around your furnace, and then it keeps the hot water in the tank warmer longer.
Okay.
You're always normally using gas and electric to reheat that water. You reheat that water constantly. This is to keep it warmer, so you're not using as much gas and electric to heat the water.
Okay. All right. Keeps that temperature up there. All right. Let's go to Tony. Tony, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you.
What's your question?
I would like.
Turn your TV down. You got to turn your TV down.
I got to turn my TV down.
Yeah. And folks, whenever you call up here to get on the air, turn your TVs down and listen to your telephone, because if you don't, it'll confuse you just like it's doing Tony. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to say, how you doing, Mario?
All right, how you doing?
All right. I got a question about my Aunt June. She need her furnace fixed, and she's an elderly lady, and I would like to know what do we need to do to get her furnace fixed.
You would just have to call 351-7921. I believe she is a client, June Dickey.
Yes, sir.
Yes, she is a client. Just let them know that the furnace is out, and have her give them a call and get a tech out there.
Okay.
All right, thanks for your call. And a lot of times it's just maybe a part or something they need, you know, a blower part or something like that. It's, you know, I mean, I imagine sometimes they probably need a whole new furnace. If that comes up, then what happens?
If they do need a new furnace and we have it in the funding, we do replace the furnace.
No kidding?
Yes.
Oh, boy, I tell you. All right, let's go to Jen. Jen, how are you?
Hello?
Yes, Jen.
It's Jean.
Oh, Jean. Okay.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. I just want to say hello to Mario.
Hello, how you doing?
Fine. And I have a question. I have paid a licensed plumber to come out to my house. When I first moved in here, he repaired a broken pipe in a wall 3 years ago. Now, that's part of the wall where he patched up is constantly leaking water. Well, the whole wall wets up, and then when it rains, the water wants to seep into my house.
But, okay, that sounds like a whole nother issue, because you don't sound like a senior citizen, and I don't know.
I am a senior.
Okay, go ahead.
What it is I paid this man, and he bust open my wall, and he never came back to figure out what was wrong. Well, I found out my sump pump is not working. Is there anything that you all could help me to get my sump pump to figure out what's going on? Because I don't want to have to pay someone else, and then they take my money again.
All right.
Our services are not just limited to elderly. We have certain services that's limited to elderly. The home repair services that we have are just for low income and elderly.
Okay.
But I would just suggest that you give us a call, get an application going if you're not already a client. But if you are a client, we can get a certified plumber out there to take care of the problem for you.
And a lot of people take advantage of low income and seniors when it comes to repairs and things like that. The guy comes out, tears a wall up, and he's gone. All right, let's go to Eric. Eric, good morning. You're on Lincoln Ware Live. How are you?
I'm doing well, Lincoln. How about yourself?
Pretty good.
Good morning, guest.
Hello.
I have a question. Do you all offer any type of training or apprenticeship training?
We do not currently right now offer any training, but when we do work with certain volunteers, such as with Woodward High School, we have some volunteers that we work with that we do a little training with them, but we don't have anything set up right now for training.
Okay. Say if someone just wanted to be an assistant in your organization and everything, and they're older male or whatever, can they come in and learn somewhat of the skill? Would that be possible?
Yes, you can come in and work with our volunteer department. And when we send volunteers out, we normally pair them up with a tech so they can go out there and assist. So in essence, you are learning that way.
Yeah.
Okay, great. What's that number again?
351-7921.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, thanks for your call. Let's go to Nicole. Nicole?
Hello. Hi.
How are you?
I want to ask, do you all, the weatherization kit that you showed, if a person that qualified as far as income wanted to come and pick that up and do it themselves, would you all allow that?
No, we would have to put it in ourselves. We
Okay,
don't.
and what would be the frame? Like if a person was to call this week, do you all normally get out that same week, or is it like a wait?
That's a good question.
Yes.
Good question. Thanks for your call.
It is somewhat of a wait. Right now, we have a large list of weatherization jobs that we have to do. Even though we're funded by Duke, we also are under contract, and certain contracts sometimes are up, and then we're renewing different contracts. Right now, I would say,
if she called tomorrow, wanted her windows winterized, how long would it take?
It's kind of hard to say. The different areas we concentrate on different areas. I would say probably within a couple of months, I know for sure.
So actually, spring could be here almost.
Well, we try to get out there like more or less for the no heat calls.
Yeah, okay, no heat. Okay, and then the other calls you get them as you can.
Yeah, because we have a large volume.
The emergency calls, you know, the plumbing,
yes,
the heat and things like that, you go right out.
Yes.
But on the winterization you just got to get in line and wait your turn. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. We'll take a quick break and come back and wrap things up with Mario. Then we'll have our second guest of the hour. None other than County Commissioner David Pepper. We'll take a quick break and we'll return to Lincoln Ware Live right here on It's 38. Back in a moment. We're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. We're back for a couple of more minutes to wrap things up with Mario Roberts from the PWC. And if you want to call him, give that number once again.
The number is area code 513-351-7921.
All right, we've got time for just a couple of more quick calls. Tia, real quick.
Yes. This question, Mario, if I live in a home where I share, I'm renting a room inside this home. My income qualifies, but the person that is renting the room that doesn't. Can I get that? Do I qualify?
If you can, do you pay your own utilities?
No, I pay it to them in the rent. Now, what I'm getting ready to do is get the gas and electric in my name, and I'm going to pay my portion, which is $68 a month, where I will get credit for that portion of the gas and electric.
Yes, as long as the utilities is in your name, you would just have to get a release form from your landlord.
Okay, all right.
All right.
So would you send that out to me, the release?
Yeah, give us a call once the utilities in your name, and we can get right on that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for your call. Let's go to Warren real quick. Warren, how are you?
I'm all right. I was just calling to ask a question about some companies have shared, they share their companies like stock with their employees, and I was just wondering, how do you help with your employees' home as far as keeping them up to codes?
Your employees?
We don't have any shares or anything. We're a nonprofit organization, so we don't have any shares or anything, any stock in our company. We're nonprofit.
Gee, what is in the water this morning? Where is he coming from with that? Patty, how are you? Patty.
Hello, my name's Pat.
Okay, they got you down as Patty. But Pat, how are you?
Yeah, fine. I'm doing fine. How are y'all?
All right.
Good.
How you doing?
That's good. I would like to know, when you install a furnace filter, do you have to put the arrows away from the furnace or towards the furnace?
Towards the furnace.
Okay.
The direction that the arrows are going is the direction that you want the furnace filter to go in.
Okay.
All right, thanks for your call. We appreciate that. Yeah, the arrow is pointing in a direction for a reason. That way. Okay. Hey, Mario, you've been a wealth of information this morning. Give the phone number out once again where people can call you.
Once again, it's area code 513-351-7921.
A great organization. You've helped a lot of people, and I know you're going to continue to do that. And it's great that we have something in this area to help out the low income and the seniors when they have problems with their homes.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Mario Roberts.
Thank you for having us.
And we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. and find out what's on the mind of our county commissioner, David Pepper. We'll talk about the budget, we'll talk about issue 27, and we'll talk about some of the other things concerning the county when we return in a moment. And we're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. As promised, the second half of the show is here, and David Pepper, County Commissioner, is here with us this morning. Welcome, David.
Thanks. Great to be back.
Boy, it's been a tough past couple of months, you know, with the county issue 27 going down to defeat, the county budget. Things are just not looking good right now.
Well, you know, we did see good news the other day that the county population is up in a lot of places like Silverton and others.
But we thought that people were leaving the county every day.
So we'll look on the bright side. But yeah, we got a lot of work to do. The voters spoke in November, and what we've got to do is within the current budget and within the current amount of jail space, solve our problems and do everything we can to make the system work better. Something I heard all the time, I know you did on your show, was, you know, we don't want anything more. We want to fix the system we've got, and we'll work very hard to do that.
Now, a lot of people, and let's put an end to all the myths out there and the rumors. A lot of people say issue 27 was tied somehow to the county budget.
Right.
And when issue 27 didn't pass, that's when you started saying we're going to lay off all these county workers. Right. Was that tied to the county budget?
No, actually, the stories about the budget came out before the vote. We knew we had a bad budget anyway. The issue 27 would have done what we said. It would have reformed the criminal justice system, gotten rid of some of the old warehouses that aren't a very good place to house anybody, and also would have allowed us to continue and expand sheriff's patrols, which are working. We just can't do those things now, which is, you know, the voters spoke, and that's that. But the budget was tough anyway. We had a couple of years, frankly, before I got there, where the prior county commission just blew the budget on all sorts of things, including Butler County, and now we're in a real predicament where we may get downgraded. We don't have the money to do a lot of things that we'd like to do. One of the things I want to say we do fund is people working cooperatively, and that will stay in the budget. Okay. We fund a lot of other good things that we can talk about in the future, but we do have a tough budget, and we would have had a tough budget either way. The one thing that is related to issue 27 was in a way, the way that the prior commission had set up Butler County was they were paying to rent space from Butler County. They were borrowing from the reserve funds.
Okay. And
the reserve funds are now almost empty. Yeah. Issue 27, part of it would have retroactively paid for Butler County and allowed our reserve funds to be more healthy. That was a small part of it. Without issue 27, our reserve funds are almost at zero, which is why we've got such a dilemma.
And so you'll lay off county workers. Is that? Do you know who you're going to lay off?
No, we'll eliminate positions. We have to do things that I don't like to do to our county employees. We're having salary freezes. We'll cut off a lot of programs and things that we support, and we'll do things more efficiently. But these are things that we have to do in a tough time. And again, we would have had to do those anyway. We won't be able to add very much. I mean, we've seen that the sheriff's patrols, I don't think, will continue. Butler County, renting of beds in Butler County will not continue. But you know, so there's bad news. I will say the reason I was so passionate about issue 27 was the reform part. Figuring out how to get more people who have a criminal record into jobs. Figuring out how to get young people to avoid a life, what we're seeing too many, a life of crime. Figuring out how to make the system work better and be more efficient and more fair. Those things will continue. Even just 2 weeks ago, we announced we're going to do everything we can to get more people who are first-time DUIs, get them out of the Justice Center, clear up that jail space, get them into treatment. We also have a problem where we get tons of people who get caught up with driver's licenses.
A lot of people complain about it. They say people who are in jail don't need to be there. So we really don't need a new jail because you got so many people there that don't need to be there.
We're working on those issues. Those are things we need to do either way. If we don't have any more jail space, it's even more urgent. Those things wouldn't. The problem, and I don't want to re-debate issue 27. We have space like Queensgate, where it's a 100-year-old warehouse. We have 800 people there. We're not rehabbing anyone there because it's a disaster to be there. I thought we need to fix that. But either way, you know, I agree with people who say, especially a first-time DUI offender, get them into some kind of treatment versus having them take up 6 days in jail. Or the one that's the dumbest is the fact that we keep on having people locked up for suspended licenses. If they could get reinstated, let's help them get reinstated and not take up jail space. Those are things that we're going to be working on, and we would have worked on either way. And there'll be a lot more things like that down the road.
All right. Every line is busy. We'll get busy. County Commissioner David Pepper is with us this morning. And let's go to James. James, good morning. How are you?
Hey, assalamu alaikum. I'm fantastic.
Walaikum salam.
Hey, brother Lincoln. Hey, David, how you doing, man?
Great. How are you?
I've been good, man. I've been good. Times have been better. I don't want to talk about the things that you just mentioned, but those are all good things. But I want to address how they will be manifest. And I would like to see if you and the rest of the county commissioners would engage the public. We would not have the fiasco that we had with the jail and the revoting. We wasted a lot of taxpayers' dollars and a lot of time. But we can engage the public and incorporate ideas and get the public behind you all. I think we can do better. And I'll hang up and listen.
All right. Thanks for your call.
Thank you for your question. We actually have a commission, the Criminal Justice Commission. It's chaired by former retired Judge Nathaniel Jones. And it's a very public process. Not enough people know about it. But our next meeting will be December 18th, I believe. You can call my office at 946-4409 to get more information. But all these ideas I'm talking about are coming through this very public process of the Criminal Justice Commission. In December, we've been working for a number of months now on a study of exactly who's in the jail and why, what charges, what's their background, what are the trends. We'll be presenting that study in mid-December. It could be controversial. We know there'll be a lot in there that, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But this will allow us to figure out how to make our system work better. That will be announced in December. And it's, you know, we've had all these discussions about who's in there and people are in there who shouldn't be in there. This will answer a lot of those questions. And my hope is what it will do is allow us to reform the system well. You know, if it's saying that, and it may say you got too many people in there for driver's license problems. Well, good. Well, let's figure out why and solve it. Or it may point out, it may show that there aren't as many people in there for something that everyone thinks they're in there for.
Now, will the public be able to get in on this?
Yes. The meeting, we're going to do it at the library so that people can sit and watch. But it also will be something that will be reported, I'm sure, on the Buzz or the newspaper.
And on this, and that's another thing. You know, a lot of times people, they have to have Time Warner cable to see what goes on in the commission, what goes on in city council. And I think that should be addressed with Time Warner. Why can't people see this without having cable?
Right.
You know what I mean? See those meetings and things like that. That's an issue we have to take up with Time Warner.
But this report will really help, you know, James and others. This will really, it's kind of coming clean on all the way, who's in there and why, how long are they waiting for trial, all that stuff that everyone was talking about. Well, this is the best study we're going to have, and then we can go about and make the changes we need to address whatever comes up.
That's pretty good. The public needs to be aware of when that's going to take place so they can watch and see what's going on there. Let's go to Greg in Madison Place. Greg, how are you?
All right. How are you today?
Pretty good.
Hey.
I believe that he hit the nail right on the head. They ought to let a lot of people off out of that jail. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
I did want to say one thing, though. I believe Mr. Pepper would make a good running mate with Ron Paul for president.
Okay.
Well, God bless you, Mr. Pepper.
Thank you. I don't think he'd have me.
Jackie, good morning. Jackie. Hey, Jackie.
Yes, how you doing today?
Pretty good.
My question is, how is it that the judge can give you a choice of probation or 40 days in jail and then take your choice? And then why are they locking up probation violators for not paying fines? I think that takes up a lot of space in jail instead of just extending probation. Is that up to the judge or the probation officer?
All right, thanks for your call.
That's an excellent question, and in the end, I believe it's up to the judge. But one of the things that will be maybe not the December study, but one of the things that we are studying is how many people are in jail, not because they committed a new crime, but because they are on probation and violated a condition that wasn't a crime. And we're not saying that when you don't follow a condition of probation, something should happen. But you don't necessarily, and it isn't necessarily good for our system that you end up back in jail. you didn't commit another crime. In a lot of systems across the country, so many people are going back in because of that it's the reason your jail is overcrowded. So her question is right on. We need to make sure that in our probation department, we have a whole different levels of sanctions if you violate a probation. It shouldn't be every time you violate some part, you go back to jail. A, you might not be solving the person's problem. Maybe they need some treatment for whatever issue they couldn't follow. But two, it means you're taking up jail space over and over again with probation violators as opposed to people who went out and committed another crime. So one of the things we'll know from this study and beyond is how many jail beds are being taken up by people who were on probation, violated some rule or condition, didn't actually commit another crime, and sometimes maybe they need to go to jail for that, but not every time. And we need to help probation figure out what other alternative sanctions can we use beyond just sending them back to jail, because we know that that is going to take up a lot of jail space. And again, every time we make a decision to send someone to jail, it's costing us a whole lot of money. And if we can figure out a cheaper way to deal with whatever, let's say they had a bad urine sample because they didn't quite follow it, well, let's figure out how to get them to something to fix that problem as opposed to just sending them to jail. Doesn't solve the problem. It also is probably the most expensive solution.
Let's take a quick break and we'll come back. I want to hear about the banks project. In our lifetime, will we ever see ground broken on the banks? Will that ever happen? We'll find out from David Pepper when we return to Lincoln Ware Live, back in a moment. We're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. My guest, County Commissioner David Pepper. And before break, I wanted to ask you about the banks, which we can. I was in Hong Kong a couple of weeks ago. Everywhere you look, there's a crane and a skyscraper going up. And I said, if the Chinese can do it, why can't we do it in good old Cincinnati? Are we near getting the shovel, having the big groundbreaking ceremony? Are we close?
Yes, I think it'll be early next year. I made a personal commitment. I will not go to any more press conferences on the banks until the shovel is there shoveled.
Okay.
Because there have been too many announcements, and all last year when my predecessor was there, they had maybe 10 press conferences on the banks, and citizens are saying we've seen this before. Yeah. We did make serious progress about a month ago with that agreement. I actually think one of the reasons why all 9 council members got reelected was because it looked like we had finally gotten something done together, county, city, on the banks, between the mayor and Todd Portune and the rest of us. I think we made real progress, and we've got a deal in place. And the good news was it was a deal that had brought the community, as James asked in the beginning, how you bring the community in. On the banks, we had a very good process where it's a diverse group. We're taking into account making sure that the citizens of the city of Cincinnati and of the county are going to get a lot of the good jobs that come out of this. We're making sure that the minority-owned companies are included in the process and benefit from it. So this is hopefully not just going to get done, but get done in the right way where the whole community feels good about the project. So I'm excited about it, but I agree that until the dirt starts moving, we all should kind of be cautious of announcing, that we're there.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. All right, we've got George, Sally, and Steve holding on. David Pepper is my guest. Before we go back to the telephone, now a lot of people are saying, oh, they're going to let all the murderers out on the street. That was one of the cries, for issue 27. Will Simon Lease let the murderers and rapists out on the street come the end of December when, he's going to pull his guys out over the Rhine? And what's going to happen?
Well, they won't be murderers and rapists, but they will. We can't continue to rent space from Butler County. That has bankrupted the county. If we could have paid for it through issue 27, great, but since we don't have that, we can't keep sending $10 million to Butler County every year, close to 10. So there'll be 300 fewer spaces. There will be then people let out. And then after that, you'll see more early releases. Obviously, they're going to do what they can to make sure it's the least problematic people and not the most. But you never want to be in a system where you have early releases where, officers make runs or citizens, let's say, call 911 to report activity. if those people are let out right away, which is going to begin to happen, it's not a good system. But we'll make we'll do the best we can in a bad situation. The early releases will probably be higher, and Butler County won't be anymore. Okay. There's just not the money to do it.
And what about Kentucky had some pretty good prices for jail space. They're bargain basement prices.
They were better than Butler County, but I will tell you, there still isn't the money. I mean, the financial situation, the budget is terrible. We're having to eliminate more than 100 positions, so we don't have the money. Even though Campbell County is cheaper than Butler County, we don't have the money to do Campbell County. Now, so we have a certain number of spaces. That's why the reforms are so important. We need to make the most and use the space we have now as best we can. But if we keep throwing money, renting jail space everywhere, we're going to bankrupt the county and never really solve the problem. That's why these issues like the DUI I mentioned, or figuring out how to get people's driver's license reinstated so they don't get rearrested, or getting people, more importantly, into jobs and not recommitting crimes, helping people with records go out and get the employment they need. That, in the end, is going to be the best solution, as opposed to bankrupting our county, sending our millions of dollars to other counties.
Now, tell me this. Do you guys, you have the power to maybe put a little $0.25 sales tax on just because the county needs it? You can do that, can't you?
Yeah, but I think the voters spoke. The voters said, we want you, even though I thought
they said they didn't want to jail. They didn't say anything about the tax part of it.
Well, depending on who you talk to, that's exactly what they'll say they were saying. And I think we need to make we need to do with what we have. We need to live within the means we have. We asked for, we asked for permission to do more. It obviously wasn't granted. So no, we could do that. Other counties have done that. And we're also stuck in Hamilton County that we would be at 6%, not 6.5%, except for the Bengal Stadium.
Right.
And all that goes out to, it doesn't go to the county, it goes to the stadiums. Yeah. So we actually have lower taxes in most counties, and even a lot of that tax isn't going to the county. So we're working with a lot less money than Columbus or Cleveland
actually, we're not making enough to pay for the stadium, are we? I mean, we're not generating
that's in the red as well.
To even pay for that.
Well, I joked a lot. Sometimes when you win an office like I did, where you upset an incumbent, it feels good one day, and the next day you realize the reason you won is because you got a lot of problems. So we do have a lot of problems, but we'll obviously work as hard as we can to fix them all.
Let's go to George. George.
How you doing today?
Pretty good.
Great.
My question is, why is it so easy for somebody to go downtown and let me turn my TV down and say they're not working and get their welfare and get their Social Security and get their food stamps and everything, and it's so easy for them to go in and get money for that, even though they're not working, they don't even try to work. But why is it so hard for somebody who's lived in a house for 20 years is getting ready to file foreclosure, and there's no way that no loans or any kind of financial institution won't want to help anybody? Why can't they just lower them rates, or try to help the people who got their homes and keep that going, where the tax money keeps going back into the city and helping the city instead of giving the money to the people that don't even want to work or try to help themselves?
All right, George, thanks for your call.
Well, let me address that. I don't think it's as easy as you might think, but on the other side, one thing that is in the budget, and I've gone through what isn't in the budget, we're supporting PwC, as I mentioned. We also have, in the last year, begun to do exactly what George mentioned, which is really help citizens who face foreclosure. We've had thousands of foreclosures in Hamilton County, not just in the city of Cincinnati, but throughout the county. And we have funded and will continue to fund and hope to expand a process where citizens who have a foreclosure situation can get the counseling they need. So far this year, through October, we have saved 482 homes from foreclosure. Citizens who called our hotline got the help they needed, and these counselors were able to renegotiate on their behalf with the lender, and they didn't get the foreclosure. Now it doesn't just help that citizen, most importantly.
It helps the county.
It has saved millions in what would have been blight and lost property value. Again, I mentioned my number. If you have a foreclosure situation, if you've gotten the notice, call my office at 946-4409. We will put you in touch with the counselors who are helping so many people. And we're partnering with the city on this. Greg Hartman, the clerk of courts, is helping on this. He is sending this information when people get the foreclosure notice. There's a lot that government can do on this, and we're in the county working very hard. And I feel 482 is a good start. There's still others we need to get to, but not every home can be saved. But to have saved 482 in the first year of the program, we're very excited about that. And we're going to do a lot more, not just on that end, but also on the upfront financial literacy end, so people know what bad deals to avoid.
And I tell you, the courts seem to be in the favor of the people facing foreclosure nowadays. I saw a big article yesterday, Judge Melba Marsh making these lending institutions prove that they actually own the property. A lot of people were being foreclosed on, and the paperwork situation wasn't what it should be. So the courts are looking out for people.
Well, a lot of people are working together on trying to help, because it has a really has an amazingly devastating personal impact, but it also really drags, if too many foreclosures happen in one neighborhood, it drags the entire community down.
Shelley, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. First, I just wanted to say I enjoy the show, watch it every time you air.
Thank you.
And I wanted to ask Mr. Pepper about his thoughts on the marijuana ordinance. I know that there was some measures put in place to where, you know, people caught in Hamilton County with a small amount of marijuana would get a ticket or a court date, and they recently reinstalled where these people are getting jail time, I understand. And so that was just one of my reasons for not voting for the jail taxes, because I would like my tax dollars to be used to, you know, house more violent criminals or people who are really a threat and a danger to our streets, as opposed to, you know, a guy with a bag of marijuana.
Okay.
So,
Shelley, thanks for your call. And yeah, are the
Good
jails
question.
filled up with people who had a joint, smoking a joint? That's everybody's in the jail.
This came up a lot in the campaign, and I appreciate Shelley's question. We'll know next month from this report that I mentioned how many people have been in there for that. I think it's, from what I've heard, I think what people are going to see is people do get arrested for that, but they end up serving very little, if any, time. The judges don't, in a situation that's already overcrowded, unless folks are committing another crime or being held for some other crime, they are not really serving much time for that. But here's something that's an interesting proposal from the county that will help solve this issue that Shelley and others have concerns about. We need to do a better job, and we're going to propose this, of making sure that every jurisdiction pays for the amount of time that people arrested on their ordinances spend in the jail. That way, the city of Cincinnati, if it passes that ordinance, it's not like the county taxpayer is paying every cost of all the ordinances of the county. If the city believes, and this is something that makes sense to have someone jailed for, then when we charge them for the amount of time someone is spending, let's say, on a marijuana ordinance, let's say $60 a day, then they'll stand by that ordinance. If they start thinking, you know what, but when we didn't have to pay for it, we were fine with it.
But
now that it's costing us money, we don't really think that's a very good law.
They may look at that.
It's sort of like truth in sentencing, or the real cost of the law. Right now, we have a situation where the county taxpayer is paying for all these decisions to pass certain laws. In the jurisdictions themselves, it's free.
There's probably hundreds of ordinances out there that could be taken off the books that are costing the county money, and if the city had to pay for them, they would say, let's cross them off now.
Or a city prosecutor might think, you know, right now they don't have to pay for it, but maybe they'll cut a deal and say, you know what, that marijuana guy does not need to be in jail for 2 days. If we have to pay for it, let's plead it out because it's not as serious. So one, I don't think it's as bad as people think when they see it. Two, on that issue or all the other issues, if we start having a system where a city pays the stay, or at least part of the stay of someone arrested on a city-only ordinance, not a state charge, but a city-only ordinance, all of a sudden every city council will start making decisions about, okay, what laws are really worth enforcing here, and what laws do we not think make a real difference?
All right, we got about 30 seconds. Steve, if you can make your question real quick, we can get to you. Go ahead.
Hey, how's it going, Dave?
Okay, you got to go. What's your question?
The question is that you were talking about charging the cities for what they were doing. I'm wondering if they're going to collect the back due money. The city's been doing this for a while.
Okay, thanks.
I would love, we don't think, and this is a fault of the county, that we have charged the city in a couple years. And we are looking right now and studying how much we think that there is owed back. And I think we should go back a couple of years, because right now you're supposed to charge that, and they haven't been. We want to come up with even a more aggressive cost share to make sure we're answering these questions that your callers are asking.
Well, they've got an extra $2 million. The chief striker saw that, so they've got $2 million that they didn't even know they had.
Right.
So maybe you can get some of that. David Pepper,
thanks so
for
much.
stopping by.
Great to see
Always
you.
good to see you. We'll have to have you back again sometime. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back to wrap things up with the talk of the town right here on Lincoln Ware Live. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back. Sorry that we didn't get to all the calls, but hey, maybe next time. We'll take a break, and we'll return to Lincoln Ware Live right here on It's 38. And we're back live. Lincoln Ware Live is the program. And a lot of people were calling wanting David Pepper's phone number. It is 946-4409. 946-4409. 946-4409. All right. Today, coming up at noon, we've got King of the Corner starring Isabella Rossellini. And the King of the Corner comes on at noon today, right here on It's 38. A rebroadcast of this show comes on tonight at 8 o'clock on Channel 25, WOTH. And then at 9 o'clock, one of my favorite actresses, Terry Hatcher and James Spader, The Cool Surface. That's at 9 o'clock tonight, following the rebroadcast of this show right here on Channel 25, WOTH. And if you want to see some of the past episodes of Lincoln Ware Live, just log on to WBQC.com and watch the episodes online. Yeah, WBQC.com. And you can look at some of the previous episodes of Lincoln Ware Live. Don't forget, check me out Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. until 1 on 1230, The Buzz of Cincinnati. Every day, Monday through Friday from 10 until 1. That's going to wrap it up until next week. We'll see you next Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, right here on Lincoln Ware Live. See you later.